just leaving Seattle. I'm on the road to Anacortes and the ferry terminal to the San Juan Islands. This is the start of what's going to be a very long day. Catching the 5:55 a.m. ferry to Orcas Island, and then I'm not anticipating being back in Anacortes until midnight. So I've arrived in Anacortes, and I'm heading towards the ferry terminal. It's a Labor Day weekend, so it's going to be very busy. I'm a little worried that there may not be enough parking. So I've arrived at the ferry terminal in Anacortes. I got lucky. I found a parking spot in the lower lot close to the terminal, but there is a upper lot that has a lot more parking if the lower lot is full. All right, we're getting close to the time for departure from Anacortes to Orcas Island. There will be stops at Lopez and Shaw on the way. Alright, we're underway. We're on our way out to the San Juan Islands. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to try to ride 100 miles, a century in bicycling, in one day on 2 of the San Juan Islands. First on Orcas, I'm going to try to ride 50 miles there, and then second on San Juan, another 50 miles there. This is my 3rd attempt. I've been trying this a couple times over the years and not succeeded. I always run out of time on Orcas. The big challenge is getting up Mount Constitution fast enough and then getting back to the ferry in time to catch the ferry to San Juan. I'm hoping 3rd time's the charm. So here's a map of the San Juan Islands. I'm going to Orcas Island first. I'm gonna land here, and then I gotta ride around the horseshoe of the island, up Mount Constitution, down to Doe Bay, and then I have to race back to get back to the ferry. And if you look at the schedule, so we're arriving at 7:10 on Orcas, and then the ferry to San Juan Island is at 12:40, so that gives me about 5.5 hours to do the whole ride on Orcas. I am on Orcas Island. I've now got about 5.5 hours to ride 50 miles on the island, including the big ride at Mount Constitution. It's gonna be a race against time because I have to get back to the ferry at 12:40. If I miss that, I can't get to San Juan Island. So, the route I'm taking on Orcas, part of it is on gravel. There is a main road that's paved the whole way, but to get 50 miles, I'm tacking on this little less direct route to bump up the mileage. All right, I'm at an intersection, and now I'm heading towards East Sound, which is about the halfway point across the island. Okay, I've arrived at East Sound. This is the top of the horseshoe of Orcas Island. And from here, I'm gonna go on to Moran State Park, where I'll do the big climb up Mount Constitution. And then after that is Doe Bay. So, East Sound is the biggest town on Orcas Island. This is where most of the shops and restaurants are. But I'm not really stopping here. I'm just gonna keep going because I'm in a hurry. To my right is East Sound, right in the middle of Orcas Island. Okay, taking another turn here, heading towards Moran State Park. The road here is a little narrow and there's no shoulder, so they even have a bicycle turnout. I guess there's a lot of traffic on a busy weekend and bikes are blocking the road. They want you to use that so the cars can go past you. I've arrived at the start of the road to the top of Mount Constitution in the middle of Moran State Park. This is the make or break for the ride on Orcas. This is where I failed the last 2 times. I got to the top and I was out of time and had to race back to the ferry. So it's 9 a.m. I've got about 3.5 hours left on Orcas. So I need to get to the top of Mount Constitution, down, over to Doe Bay, and then back to the ferry. Hey. Well, oh man, I haven't even gotten very far yet, and I'm already out of breath. There was already one 8% grade climb there, and I know there's more coming up. So, it's definitely going to be a challenge getting to the top of Constitution. I'm not sure, maybe about a third, maybe half the way up. Yeah, it's killing me. It's brutal. A lot of 10 and 11% grade climbs. Just went through a few sections of 15% grade. But I am gaining elevation, and the views are getting better too. Getting closer. Well, getting close to the summit. Thankfully, near the top, it starts to level out a bit. It's more like kind of gently rolling hills. Because, oh man, those 15% sections were killing me. I don't know how much more of that I could have taken. Oh, that's it. Made it to the top of Mount Constitution on Orcas Island. It took me about 50 minutes to get up here. It was a grind. Now I'm gonna go check out the tower and then head down. So at the top of Mount Constitution, there's an observation tower. Looks like this stone castle. It was built during the Great Depression by the Civilian Conservation Corps. Into the tower. It finally feels like some sort of medieval watchtower you'd see in Europe. It's pretty cool. Well, it's 10 a.m. I got about 2.5 hours left before the ferry. So I'm gonna have to race down from Mount Constitution over to Doe Bay and then back to the ferry. The clock is ticking. All right, farewell Mount Constitution. Alright, that's it for Mount Constitution. On to Doe Bay. All right, I made it to Doe Bay. It was pretty fast getting here, but that's because it was downhill the whole way, which is bad news on the way back. That means I'm gonna go uphill all the way back. It's 10:45. The ferry is at 12:40, so I got less than 2 hours to get back there. This is like Mount Constitution all over again. That was just a 13% kicker. All right, so I'm just leaving Moran State Park right now. It's about 11:25. That means I have about an hour and 15 minutes left to make it to the ferry. So, still gonna be close. So I skipped the town of East Sound on the way back, and I'm taking the more direct road back to the ferry. It's a little wider, and there's actually a shoulder for bikes. All right, getting closer to the ferry. It's like 12:10. I think I got one more hill to climb, and hopefully it's downhill to the ferry from there. Well, that last hill before the descent to the ferry was a 10% grade. Orcas had one more climb in store for me. I did it. I rode 50 miles on Orcas, including Mount Constitution, and I made it in time to catch the ferry. It's just arriving now. It's one of the smaller, like, inter-island ferries. They're a little behind schedule, which was good for me. Gave me a little more time. Next stop, Friday Harbor in San Juan Island. So I'm on the ferry to San Juan Island. The ferry's going to land at Friday Harbor. Once on San Juan Island, I'm going to head north to Roche Harbor, and then I'm going to come down the west side of the island, past Limekiln Park, and then all the way down to Cattle Point Lighthouse, and then back up to Friday Harbor. I have plenty of time on San Juan Island because the ferry back to Anacortes isn't until 10 p.m. The concern for me on San Juan Island is that sunset is 8 p.m., so I have a limited amount of daylight. So I have to get back to Friday Harbor before dark. I'm in Friday Harbor. It's a little after 2 p.m. I'm gonna go ride around the island. I need to be back here by 8 p.m. because that's when the sun sets. I've left Friday Harbor. I'm heading north on San Juan Island. It's quickly turned into countryside. You know, Friday Harbor is the biggest town in San Juan Islands, but it's still not a very big town. It is warm. I was a little bit cold the whole time I was on Orcas. Even when I was climbing up Mount Constitution and I was burning so many calories, my toes were still cold, but it is not an issue in San Juan. It is very warm. Jumping in a lake sounds really good right now. I got a small private airport here. Right next to Roche Harbor, there's a very interesting attraction known as the Mausoleum. Doesn't seem like something you would find on San Juan Island, but it just makes the place more interesting. Afterglow Vista. It's the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, but the McMillan family mausoleum makes it feel like it's Halloween come early. This place has got some serious spooky vibes. I'm in Roche Harbor. This is kind of a fancy marina and resort at the north end of San Juan Island. I'm just making a quick little stop here. They do have a general store here, so I stopped off to refuel for the ride down the west coast of San Juan Island. We used to have lime kilns out here, so the parking area is right next to some of the old lime kilns. It is a steep road to get out of Roche Harbor. West Side Road, scenic byway. Sounds good to me. Well, so far this West Valley Road has been a strangely mixed environment. Where there's no wind, it's pretty warm. God, there's some big climbs too, like 14% grade. So pretty hot, working hard. And occasionally when there's like a little gap in the trees, I get this blast of like cool marine air, which feels incredible. It's like air conditioning. So we're finally broken out of the trees, getting those classic West Coast San Juan Island views of the water. It's about 5:30 p.m. Beautiful late summer evening. I can hear the crickets chirping. I headed down False Bay Road, heading towards Cattle Point at the south end of San Juan Island. And we've got about 2.5 hours of daylight left to finish the ride. All right, Cattle Point Road. This takes us to the south end of San Juan Island. It's getting late in the day. I'm all exhausted, but it's gorgeous out here. And when you're not in the trees, you're not in the shade, it still feels very bright and daylight out. You know, it's about 6 o'clock now. So this is Cattle Point, the very south end of San Juan Island. I'm gonna hike out here to the beach and the lighthouse, and then once I get there, I'm gonna turn around and head back to Friday Harbor. So this is Cattle Point, the very south end of San Juan Island. Up there's the lighthouse. That's it. Time to head back. See if I can get some dinner in Friday Harbor. Kill some time before the ferry arrives at 10 p.m. This was a lot more fun on the descent. If Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer, then this has been a great way to end. So I almost made it back to Friday Harbor and realized I was about 5 miles shy of 50. So now I'm heading back out to Pearl Point Road to do a little lap back into Friday Harbor and round it out to 50. Having to add on Pearl Point Road to get up to 50 turned out not to be a bad thing. It's a pretty beautiful view of the water here. The last light of day. All right, near the end. Friday Harbor should be less than a mile away. I am back in Friday Harbor. It's just about 8 p.m. and the sun has set. The ferry's not until 10. I'm gonna go find some place to get dinner and then hang out for 2 hours until the ferry arrives. So I did it. I achieved my goal. I rode a century, 100 miles in one day in the San Juan Islands, 50 miles on Orcas Island, and 50 miles on San Juan Island. It took me 3 attempts to do it, but I finally figured out how to do it. It required a lot of hill training that I'm already doing for some other rides I'm doing in September. The Ramrod ride around Mount Rainier in one day and Mount Baker Hill climb. And the bonus for training for those two is I was able to accomplish my San Juan's century goal.